Hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of Blooming Daily. I'm so excited to be back in the studio because we're again in season 3, and it's almost unbelievable that we've come so far this year. And so I'm really thankful to be back in the studio and to be discussing health and wellness, because it's such an important part of our lives, and it's something that we need to be thinking about often, because it impacts the quality of our life and how we show up to the world and how we relate with people around us. It just impacts a lot of things. So I am super pumped to be back in the studio today. And I'm also really excited that we're going to be speaking about something that we might not think of as much when we think of health and wellness. You know, like we might think of, our brain, or we might think of our, digestive system and all of that. But this is something we don't really associate with health and wellness. So I'm very excited to be speaking about it today. And I'm excited to be speaking about it with the two amazing women in front of me. Oh my gosh, you need to see their smiles. They're so cute. So today joining me in the studio is Kiana and Tomi. Oh my gosh. Hey guys, welcome to the studio. I am so excited to have you guys here. Before I say much, would you guys like to introduce yourselves?
Yes. Okay, I can go. Thank you so much for having me, Ruth. I'm so excited. So my name is Kiana Gonzalez. I am a sophomore at Bowdoin, and I am from the Springfield, Massachusetts area, which is Western Massachusetts. But my family is Puerto Rican, so that's important for this episode.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hi, guys. My name's Tomi. I am a sophomore here at Bowdoin as well. And I am from New York City, from the Bronx. Stand up. And I'm also from Nigeria.
Let's go. Nigerians unite.
Oh, and we're also roommates, so...
We're not really.
We're kind of, so we try to be roommates. Listen, we live across the hall from each other.
Sure.
It's a long story. We do. She acts like we don't actually. We do live across the hall.
We do. Actually.
So,
anyway.
Yes. I'm very excited to have you both in the studio, because I know that both of you have a good amount of expertise in hair care. And so today we're going to be talking about the intersection of hair care and overall wellness, because the intersection is something we don't think about often. We might think about, I need to take care of my hair, but we might not think of, how does my hair health impact my overall health, or how does my overall health impact my hair health, and how does my hair impact my confidence, and all those kind of things. So I'm very excited to be speaking about hair care today and wellness through the lenses of our hair. And so before we go into the questions of the day, I would love to know the hair routines you guys did today before you came into the studio. I want to know what you did to your hair and how long it took you to do your hair. And yeah.
Okay. Tomi, do you want to go first?
Sure. I woke up today and I literally just came here. But normally on a day, I spray my hair with water to get it a little damp, and then I pull it back into either two buns or a high bun, or leave it down. But with my hair, I have twisted right now, so I just normally just spray it, moisturize a little bit, and go at my day, and that's really it.
Nice.
Okay, for me today, I woke up and my hair was so bad. I wasn't even planning on doing my routine again, because I did it on Friday or something. Mm-hmm. And I will probably if it's curly, I'll probably do my routine twice a week. Mm-hmm. But it just wasn't working. And I was I have to have my hair nice today for Ruth's podcast. So I did do it this morning. It was kind of very rushed. And I walked out with wet hair, which is not my favorite. But it took me 40 minutes maybe.
Wow.
To wash and style, which isn't that bad.
Mm-hmm. So 40 minutes from your morning, is it because it's a Sunday? Would you have been able to do this on a school day where you had class at 8 a.m.? Would you have been able to take out 40 minutes of your time? I
almost never wash my hair before class, just because I would have to wake up really early, and I just can't. So usually I'll do it in an afternoon when I'm free.
Yes. And you said twice a week?
twice a week if it's curly, and usually if I like blow out my hair to be straight, I can make it last a whole week. Wait, Tomi just booed me. She does not like when I straighten my. Okay, it's because it is damaging. It can be if you don't do it right. It can be damaging. However, in the winter, it's so much easier. It's the maintenance is just like. I just wake up and I don't even have to fix it. Like my curls, I do have to fix in the morning, you know? So it's just, I walk out and if I am taking care of it and using hair masks, heat protection, it should be fine. It's fine.
Wow. Tomi, you build. Why did you build? I would like to hear.
Because I just think like, nothing's wrong with straightening your hair, but I think doing it a little too often or it being like the ideal of what your hair looks like on a daily basis is a bit harming. So I think like your hair not only but also like how you see yourself or how other people think or how you think other people see you. If your hair is like always straightened because you hate your curly hair, not saying that you do, but like people in general, like people straighten their hair a lot because they hate their curly hair. It's like your hair naturally is as beautiful as it is when it's straight. So yeah,
I agree. I actually do agree, and it's something that like I guess I can start talking about like background with hair.
I wanted to say you guys have like perfectly like started the conversation because I was going to, ask about the societal views and constructs of hair and why like we need or why we want to straighten our hair. And so yes, I would love to hear from you, Kiana.
Yeah. So I feel like in my family and my like background, I think that having straight hair was kind of the status quo when you're older, like being an older woman having straight hair.
Oh, really? Was that
it's just like
a cultural thing?
I think people just straighten their hair a lot. There's a lot of like Dominican, Puerto Rican salons that's like what you do. If you go and get a haircut and you don't ask them, if you say like, don't straighten my hair, don't blow out my hair, they're going to be like, okay, like, it's just like, it's almost like walking out with wet hair or something, So I think that's just like what it is. Like straight hair is like done, you know what I mean? But I think there's definitely a shift happening in this generation where it's like, no, we have to embrace our curls and everything. And I love curly hair. I think it's gorgeous, and I do love my hair. It can be frustrating to deal with,
Yeah.
And so to me, I feel like, and this is not a great, like, I don't think this is true, but in my head, straight hair always looks good with every outfit, with every, like, however I feel like it's just always going to look good, right? But curly hair, sometimes I'm not feeling it, whatever. So that's why it's like, but when I have my hair curly and it's like, I have it like, and I think it just looks great. Like if I had my curly hair 10 out of 10, I prefer it to my straight hair being a 10 out of 10. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
I would always choose my curls. But it's just been like, it's been a struggle. It's been a struggle. Yeah.
Yes, I think those struggles are valid. And I think it's interesting that it's also similar in your culture, because I think for my culture and, similar with Tomi's, it's very similar. Tomi, do you have a similar experience to share?
My hair was permed for as long as I can remember. Maybe since I was like, I think I stopped perming my hair when I was about 13 or 14. But I think my mom's like, I think like the idea of like good natural hair was never like my hair type, which was like 4C hair.
Yes.
So I think just growing up, like having to like perm it to make it straight, and it would look like bone straight. Like it was not cute. It was like, it was stiff. It was not giving anything that I thought it was giving. But like having to straighten it, quote unquote, perm it, was the ideal. Like a lot of like black girls I grew up with, a lot of African girls I grew up with had their hair permed all the time. And it wasn't until I was like 14 where I was like, I'm done because my hair is dying. It's dead. It's thin. It's short. I don't like it. So I cut all my hair off basically, let it go natural. But even when I'm natural, it's like my hair isn't. To me, my hair isn't done unless it's like in a style. Like if my hair is out in its natural state, it looks good when I have it in an afro for like 2 days, and then after that, it's like, I have to take care of it. It looks a little like matted. It's like I have to like gel it back all the time. It's like not done unless it's like in braids or like under a wig or whatever. So yeah.
I really relate to what you said to me. I relate not because I permed my hair, because I never got to perm my hair, because I was on lookout for most of my childhood, except like a few years where I was making my hair, but I never permed my hair. But I saw people perm their hair a lot. It was just a normal thing to do, yes, back at home, because I grew up in Nigeria, and perming hair made it easier in quotes to take care of the hair, and parents would prefer if they could take care of the child's hair when it's permed than when it's natural and it's like very coarse and kinky, and it's like, and even I think even for the children, combing your hair like in an afro, like when it's really thick, was just really painful. You see, it hurts so much.
But I think it's because we didn't like. I think our parents especially didn't learn how to like take care of it.
Yes.
It's like combing dry, forcey hair.
Oh my goodness, it's gonna hurt.
If you know how to take care of it, like it's easy. It's just a breeze. Same with like permed hair. If you don't know how to take care of your permed hair, then it's just like tangled and matted, and it's like, and if you don't do it right, it burns your head. Like it's not a fun process.
Exactly. So I feel like just because I think growing up we didn't have enough knowledge about our hair texture and how to take care of it, it just made it seem like such a hassle, and it made it seem like something to be avoided. He's just like, oh no, I don't want to go through all that stress. And when I was looking back at the history of perming, it started during the time of like, slavery, of like black people. It's like, oh, your hair looks rough and it looks tattered, and it's like, for you to look presentable, you have to have straight hair. And so I remember reading about this for a class last semester and thinking, wow, like that's why heat combs were introduced, so that they could look presentable and so that they could look like their white counterparts and all of that. So it was just really interesting to see how this was tied with oppression and all of that. And that's a whole story. We could go so deeply into that, but what we're just trying to say is that societal constructs matter a lot in how we see our hair and how we've been made to perceive our hair growing up.
Yeah, I think for me too, I grew up in a very like white suburb. I went to that elementary, middle school, my whole life with the same people, and it was fine, but I think one thing that definitely was different, especially I think in elementary and middle school, was my hair. I was probably one of the only like Puerto Ricans in my classes usually, and I didn't have like most people. Almost nobody had my hair, right? So it was like just something that made me stick out, I guess, a little bit. It was something that I just didn't like. I just saw these girls in like their sleek ponytails, and like they would just be able to put their hair back and they would put it up in class. And one time I remember I tried to take out my hair and like do a ponytail, and the ponytail broke. And when my mom went to pick me up, my hair now is actually looser than it was when I was younger. My hair was very, very curly when I was little. I came out with like this lion's mane of hair, and it was so, because the thing is she had slicked it back in the morning, so the front was like straight and then the rest was like a big poof. And she was like, Kiana, I told you not to touch your hair. And I was like, but everyone else touches and braids their hair in class. So it was like, I don't know, that's just an interesting thing for me, because but here a lot of people have curly hair, which is so nice.
Yes, I think that's another thing that I think is different here at Bowdoin, is that a lot of people like are embracing their hair, and like you said, I think this generation is trying more to embrace their natural hair state, because really I think that a lot of the straightening and all of that, which again, it's like, it's not bad if you just, you're doing it because you want to manage it for this particular weekend. But when it becomes a constant thing, and when it becomes a necessity, like I cannot go out if my hair is not straight, that's like, that's a bit problematic.
I think
it's
that's
like,
the main thing. Yeah. If you feel like you don't feel like you are presentable with your hair curly, and that's the thing, like you can learn how to do it in a way that you like.
Yes.
So, but that's like, I think it's kind of, some people just don't know how to do it because they've never been taught,
That's another thing.
Yeah, it's just, they've never been taught any other way other than like straighten your hair,
And I think that when we look at it from this lens, we can begin to ask ourselves important questions, like, why do I feel this huge urge to have my hair a certain way? Is it because I want it like that, or is it because I think I should look like that? I think those questions are so important. Is it because of the pressure that has been imposed on me by society and what it demands of me in terms of my hair, or is it just because that's how I'm feeling today? I just want my hair to. So I think that's really important when we think of hair care and how we're presenting ourselves. And I want to ask about confidence with hair care, because I think confidence really impacts our well-being, when our mental health, because when you're confident, you want to show up for yourself, and you want to take care of yourself because you are invested. And I want to hear how your confidence levels were growing up in terms of your hair. Did you feel more confident when your hair was a certain way, or did you feel like, no, however my hair was, I felt just as confident? Or how do you think it affected your self-esteem?
I think for me, I definitely feel more confident when my hair is in braids or my hair is quote unquote done. Just because it's, I don't know. Just because I think that's how it's always been. Like my hair when it's out, I think it's like split. When my hair is like in braids, I feel very confident. When my hair is like out, but it's like in a puff or like or quote unquote presentable, where it's like it's styled. When my hair is styled in natural state, like I feel fine. I feel confident. But I think when my hair is like in like the in between stages of where it's like I'm washing it, or like I have washed it in a couple days,
yes,
or like it's like in twist, or it's in like straight back braids or whatever, I don't feel as confident, just because I think I'm like used to seeing myself that way. So going out that way is also not like an ideal for me. There's this I think overwhelming like feeling of like having to get my hair done. Like if my hair's not done, which is done to me is like in braids.
Yes,
I don't feel as confident as I could be. Yeah.
And do you think that was the case too growing up, or did it not matter?
I think when my hair was permed, it didn't matter because I couldn't do anything to it. It was always straight.
Yeah.
So I think like having it in like again styling it, like putting it up or like having it down, and then just like waking up out of bed and just going out with my day was more confident. When I first went natural though, my hair was really short, like in a teeny weeny afro type of style, and at that point, I think like it didn't matter until my hair grew to a certain length where it was like in an awkward stage where like I couldn't like style it as well, but I also couldn't like leave it out.
Yes,
because it would just look a little, in my opinion, look a little crazy to me growing up. So I think that's when like I started like getting my hair done, like being like, okay, when it's done, it's good. When it's not, it's not.
Okay, yeah. I get you. How about you, Kiana?
For me, I would say now, as long as I honestly think, like I said, I prefer my curly hair when it like looks just like when I feel like I got it down to a T. Like I prefer it to just straight hair. I think it's like unique and like I don't know, it adds something. But I think like when my hair, like I said, so I will wake up after doing my hair like a day or 2 or 3 days before, and it will be so frustrating. And that's when I think, because for me my hair is more important than like makeup or outfit. Like for me, I think like my hair like is like the main part.
Yeah.
So if my hair is just not behaving, I just don't feel good. But yeah, I think when I was younger, I would say I didn't really know how to get my hair done curly. Like every time I would get it done, like straightened, I would hear like people, like it'd be like, oh my gosh, like if only her hair would stay like the way it looks when it's wet. Because my curls, like they're pretty, but like when they got really frizzy when I was little, because no one knew how to like not make it frizzy.
Yeah.
So I think like that was a hit, because I was like, dang, like I wish my hair looked like that too.
Yes.
So I think when I had gotten it freshly straightened, that's when I felt like the prettiest, you know, as a kid, because it was like, oh, you got your hair done. Ooh, Kiana looks so grown. Like it's like that. And then I think when I was in middle school, I remember watching this YouTube video and following it, and it was like a curly hair routine, and it turned out like I had never seen my hair look like that. I was amazed. And my mom was like, wow, like, how did you do that? Like, it was just like, it was like this really big, I was so confident with it. Right. And I go to school the next day, and I was in like 6th grade, I think. and someone goes, curly hair, don't care, something like that. And it was a joke, right? But it hit me so bad that I just didn't wear my hair curly to school anymore. I only wore it to like church or like with my family. And I remember that, like, I still remember it. Clearly it like affected me, right?
Yes.
So for the rest of like my school days, I would like, at least in middle school, I would wear my hair back or straighten. My mom would do rollers on me. Rollers are very common for us. So you would do like rollers, and I would sit under a big dryer, and that's how I would do it. So, and then I think probably in high school, that's when I started wearing my curls again and feeling good about it. But I think I also really like my hair long. That's another thing. I cut my hair when I think it was my junior year. I cut it to like, it was like just below my chin. It was really short. And I hated it. Like, I don't like my hair short when it's curly. So it has to be long. The longer it gets, the better I feel about it. So,
You know, that's really interesting that you mentioned the length, because just as I was walking to the studio, I was thinking of how I've had to cut a few inches of my hair because I was having split ends. And I was saying to myself, yeah, I did that because, you know, healthier hair is better than longer hair. And now you mentioned that, and it's like, that's really interesting, our relationship with length and health. But before we even go further, I wanted to say that I know we've mentioned curly hair a lot, and I recognize very well that a lot of our listeners also have straight hair, like naturally. And yes, that's like very valid. We are not in any way speaking against straight hair. We are speaking about like the constructs of like curly versus straight hair.
Yeah, and having like straight hair when your hair is naturally curly.
Yes.
It's more about like your hair, changing your hair. Yeah.
Yes. And so I just wanted to put that before we even go further, because we all have different types of hair and we all have different relationships with hair. And so this was just a bit of background as to hair care and how we see ourselves and how we think others see us. And so yes, that I just really wanted to put that there. And so now I really want us to speak about the connection of our wellness and hair care, because we might not realize it, but sometimes our hair is an indicator for what's going on in our overall health. Sometimes when like your hair is thinning, you might not realize that you're like deficient for a certain vitamin, or it's something about your blood. And the thing is, we cannot go in depth concerning that on this episode, because this like requires one-on-one like consultation with a doctor. But we wanted to really make you think about how your overall health might be, how your overall hair health might be an indicator of your health. So for example, if you're noticing that your hair is thinning, it might be because you are having an issue with maybe your sleep or your diet. If your scalp is inflamed, it might be because you're missing something. So we really want you to think about that. And I was wondering if both of you have had any issues with like hair thinning or like split ends or something really major, and that you had to like treat your hair for, or that you had to see someone for.
I have never. I mean, I have like split ends, but nothing like that's like concerning that like I have to go see someone. It's like natural, normal hair things, I think.
Yeah, I think me too.
Yes, and when you had split ends, how did you discover that, and what like action did you take for that?
I think whenever like I take my hair out of like, because when I do styles, my hair is like in a style or like in braids for like 2-3 months almost. And I think for me, actually, like my health, in terms of like health, is tied to my hair when it's like my mental health. I think when I'm not in a good mental space, I don't think about my hair.
Yes.
I don't like oil it. I don't, like, if it's out, I don't like comb it. I just like put it up in a puff and let it rock for 2-3 weeks and don't touch it at all. It gets dry, all that. So I think like definitely like when I'm not as like, I'm not as positive as I should be, I think my hair takes a toll. But I think for like split ends, when I take my hair out of braids, like usually it's been in there for a long time. So I just like when I'm doing it and I see like when you hold it in front of you, you can see,
Yes.
like, you can literally see the split, and I just take it and I just trim it off. That's like going about my day. That's really it. But yeah.
Kiana, how do you deal with your kind of split ends?
I'm like looking right now to see if I have any. I think I cut my hair probably 2 or 3 times a year. Mm-hmm. That's about as much as I do in terms of that. I think my ends can get really damaged. It's not about split ends for me. It's about more the ends not curling, because like when I do straighten my hair, that's probably the first part to go, because that's also the oldest part of your hair.
Yes, that's very true.
It's the most like brittle, I guess, the most sensitive. So that's why I cut my hair like Tomi's looking at it. Yeah. So, but other than that, I don't know. I'll do treatments to fix it. But the thing is, like, once the ends of your hair are damaged, it's
kind of have to go.
They gotta go.
Yes.
Yeah, they gotta go. Last year I revamped my my hair care routine in the past year. So last year I was not doing great with it, and I would straighten it. And my split ends by the end of the school year, the ends were straight. Like it was not good. I had to cut it off. Yeah. So that's unfortunate. So take care of your hair if you want it to be long, so that you can keep growing it.
Health over wealth, for real.
Yes, I think that's so important. And how do you know when to let go of certain like parts of your hair, when you have to just chop them off?
If you know, like
you know.
Like if it looks dead, like I think for like 4C hair especially, you can like tell when your hair is like not healthy, because the roots like look healthy and they look curly and they're full, and then as you go down your hair shaft, it's like the hair is getting thinner and it's getting like straighter and it's just not as full.
Yes.
Also, the paper test for like, I think for all types of hair, but like I've mainly seen it for 4C hair, where you have like a piece of paper, when it's out, you like put white paper behind your hair, and whenever like you can see through and you can see the white, it's probably super thin and probably super dead, so you probably just chop it off. But like when you know.
That's really important.
I've never heard of that.
Really?
Yeah.
Like your hair is out, you put like paper behind it, and you can like see like it's like full, and then you get to the end and it's like see-through.
Okay, I see.
Like,
I see what she's saying.
Yes.
Yeah, if you have like your hair in a like puff,
like an afro or something,
then it would. Yeah. Okay. I don't think that would work for my hair. Yeah.
Yeah. Or except maybe. Yeah.
No, I can just tell. I can just see if it's like even this side. I'm thinking like I'm gonna have to. I've never cut my hair myself, so I can't do it. But
yeah, that's really interesting that you said that. And I think that this is a really good place to introduce like hair types, because you mentioned 4C, and I think it'd be really valuable if we could talk about the classification of hair types. I've heard debates about how this classification isn't the like golden classification, but I think it's really helpful. So we can go through the types of hair types there are, and because this is audio, it might be hard for you to visualize if you don't know what these are, but we can start. We have A to C.
You can look, and all the hair types are so gorgeous. So
yes,
they start with, so there's the number, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yes,
and 1 is straight hair, 2 is wavy hair, 3 is curly hair, and then 4 is like coily hair. So the first straight hair, and then it's like A, B, C. So each you're like 1B, 2C, 4A, like that kind of thing.
Yes.
So so 1 is straight, and then it's like each A, B, C, it gets like curlier and curlier, like a slight more bend. So my hair is a mix of, you can have a mix. So my hair is a mix of 2C and 3A. So I have like some curly hair, and then some like pieces are like more wavy. Like if you take it out, you can see like this one, it would have more of a coil to it. It's hard to see. But then like this, I'm trying to pick this. This is more like a straight, and obviously the listeners can't see, but this is more like a wave, you know? And I know that it's not my hair like damaged because it's growing out like that.
Oh,
so my hair type
right.
just changed as I got older, which is also interesting. My sister used to have the wavy hair, and now she has like really coily hair. So your hair changes as you age.
That's really interesting, because I heard of that a few years ago, that sometimes if you think your hair is only, let's say 4C, you might be neglecting parts of your hair that are maybe 4B, and that's really important. Tomi, what would you classify your hair as, even though I feel like I know that, but and how do you know your hair is what it is?
So actually, I used to do a lot of tests on my hair to
Really?
see what it was.
What kind of tests?
I know my hair is 4C, but I was doing porosity and high porosity versus low porosity. Put it in a cup of water, and if it sinks, it's easy to absorb water, and if it floats, it's not.
Yes, I do know that one. Yeah, I did that one. It's so funny because I feel like we were very similar when we were younger, and even now we would be very in tune with hair stuff.
What my hair is. But my hair is 4C. It's 4C all over. It's super coily, thick.
Can we speak more about porosity and texture? You said that, your hair porosity and your hair texture. Can you speak about porosity and texture and why you have to put that into consideration in understanding your hair type?
Yes. I have pretty high porosity hair. Tell me, do you want to explain what that means? Because
Okay, so high porosity, your hair has trouble retaining moisture, so it gets dry quicker, as opposed to low porosity, which it has trouble absorbing moisture, and it takes forever to dry.
Yes.
So, when I am in the shower washing my hair, and I have my hair underwater, my hair gets wet super fast. Versus some people, and I think that means I have high.
Higher
porosity.
versus medium to high.
Medium porosity. Which is people in the shower, their hair is underwater, but their hair is the water's literally just falling off their hair. It's not really absorbing into the hair follicles or the hair shaft. And that's important for how you do your skin how you do your hair routine and how you allow your hair to retain moisture. If my hair is high to medium porosity, I can moisturize it after I shower and I wash it. But then it'll get dry a day after, and it won't keep and hold the moisture in. So that's why for me, when I do my hair routine, I do leave-in conditioner first, oil second, and then cream third to hold the leave-in and the oil moisture in, as opposed to someone who has low porosity, which does oil last to seal it all in so that it doesn't lose the moisture that it already has.
Yes.
But, yeah.
Yeah, I have pretty high porosity hair, so my hair gets wet nothing. If it's raining, my hair will just fall. But that means that it's super dry, especially in the winter. I can already feel it. It's so, and I have some dyed pieces of hair. Those hair pieces will get so dry, and damage can make your hair more porous as well. So I think that's why those pieces are more dry. So it's just in the winter you gotta lock in that moisture. Like Tomi said, I use gel and mousse for mine, so those can the gel can create a seal over your hair and keep the moisture for a few days, as long as possible.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm glad you mentioned porosity, because I have low porosity, and so it takes my hair a while to get wet, but when it gets wet, it traps in the moisture. Today, I moisturized my hair, and then I sealed it only with a little bit of cream and then oil. But because my hair is low porosity, if I put too much product, my hair feels heavy. And so that's another thing about knowing your hair porosity. Sometimes if you have a certain porosity, you might use the wrong products because you don't realize. And so I have begun to use, I think, less and less products over the months, because I realized that just having too much products on my hair just weighs my hair down, and my hair doesn't absorb all those things. And then it's building up on my scalp, and it's just causing so many effects. So porosity is really important. And I know we said types of hair and then porosity. We wish we could fully explain everything on the podcast, but you also need some visual explanation. So we really urge you to look up hair types and porosity and read about these, because understanding your own hair texture, porosity, and your hair type would go a long way in saving you money when you're buying products, because then you're not just buying any products that you can use. It will go a long way in helping you with your hair care routine, because you know what to do and what not to do. And so I highly encourage that.
Yeah. Another thing is there's people, I would say we've talked a lot about curly and coily hair. Wavy hair, also, a lot of people don't know that their hair has some kind of bend and shape to it. So I would say like Tomi's roommate, Tali, when she came, she didn't know she had wavy-ish hair. And
Oh.
I was like, you have wavy hair, because she thought her hair was just really frizzy.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, if your hair is really frizzy and you think it's like straight-ish,
Mm-hmm.
you should try some wavy hair routine. You can look them up on YouTube, right? And then they're so beautiful. It's just,
They are
yeah.
so beautiful.
So, you know, there's a lot of like things you can do. Some people, I think that's the thing. My main point is, I think a lot of people don't realize they have wavy hair too.
Mm-hmm.
So you can take care of it. Put very light products on wavy hair, and it will just bring out those pretty waves.
Very, very pretty waves. And so now I want to mention a few ways that our hair health can be an indicator of our overall health, and then we can just discuss like how we think this can manifest. The first one on the list is stress. When we're stressed, this can impact our hair health, right? Because then the hormones that you're producing when you're really stressed can be part of things that make your hair shafts age quicker, but you might not realize, because the stress hormone and cortisol can make your hair start aging quicker, start dying faster, and then you notice that your hair is falling off. But then you might not associate it with stress. It's like stress hair, but yes, that's because the free radicals moving in your body during all of this are making it hard for your hair to like repair itself, and for your hair to send nutrients down the hair shafts. And so when you're stressed, you should definitely look out for how your hair is doing, or when your hair is not doing well, you should definitely look at whether or not you're stressed, because you being stressed can play a major role in how your hair is doing. Another one is anemia. When you're anemic, it can really tell in your hair. I remember one time, I was still back at home in Nigeria then, and I was facing a lot of hair loss, and that's why we can't diagnose things on the podcast, because I didn't even know if I was like anemic or anything. I doubt I was, but then because I had read somewhere online that if you're facing anemia, your hair might be manifesting it in terms of hair loss. I was like, that made me concerned. That made me think about my health. So I really encourage you that if you're facing a lot of hair loss, you should really see a doctor, because it can be a sign of anemia, and it might be a sign that you should really see a doctor. Another thing is protein deficiency. When your hair is like, I don't know if you guys have seen, like, I know Tomi, would you like to talk about like protein mask, or if either of you want to talk about like protein mask and all these masks and why we use them, and how protein is really important for your hair?
So I don't know the whole science behind like protein and how it's good for your hair, but I do remember when I was like when I was firstly natural, like fresh natural, I would like Google like all these like hair masks and what to do, and I would like put food in my hair.
Yes, I used to do that too.
Use,
oh my
eggs.
God,
it was so gross. I'd use like eggs, mayo, some honey, some avocado, like water, and I like make a concoction, put it in my hair, and like hope it would like help. And honestly, I think it did. I don't think it's bad for your hair, but I think like there's ways you can like take what's in the food,
yes,
and get
like
it out.
make it an actual hair product. I was just like putting raw food in your hair.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, my sister used to do that. I hated the smell of mayo, so I couldn't. But like, I think I did an avocado honey mask one time. So the thing with hair is it needs protein and moisture, and a lot of times like more curly and coily hair will be lacking in protein and moisture. So you need a balance of both. If you have too much protein in your hair, it gets brittle, I believe, and if you have too much moisture, it gets really like stretchy and like fragile. So too much moisture, too much protein is not a good thing.
Yes.
There's like treatments you can use. I have one that like it makes your hair like you put it in, it's like a liquid, and you dry it, and it makes your hair like sticks, like dry, like it makes it like super hard, and then you wash it out, and that's like the treatment. So I don't know, I have one like that. I have this bond builder, which I think is like similar to protein, but it's the Olaplex one. Really recommend. I think it's number 3. That one is not sponsored. That one is really good too. So there's like protein treatments that will be more concentrated, like Tomi said, and it helps to strengthen your hair, especially when it's like damaged. That helped me a lot over the summer with like revitalizing my hair and making, because the protein builds the bonds in your hair.
Exactly.
Oh, pop quiz. We're all in the same organic chemistry class.
Oh my god!
What bonds make curly hair curly?
So basically, peptide bonds.
No. No. Those are protein bonds. No. Okay. Ruth, do you know the answer?
I can think of the answer right now. No, what's it?
Disulfide bonds. I better be right. I am right. Disulfide bonds. So like the more disulfide bonds you have in your hair, the curlier it is.
That's true.
And when you straighten your hair with heat, you are breaking the disulfide bonds because they break with heat. So that's why.
But when you add moisture to your hair,
the H2O makes the disulfide bonds come back together.
Oh my god!
Yeah. And sometimes
they're such nerds.
I know. and when people perm their hair, they are like constructing disulfide bonds to make it straight or curly, whatever. So
and that's more permanent. That's why even when you wash it, like it's harder for the hydrogen bonds to form. Or like when you just break the bonds with just heat, when you wash your hair it comes back. So that's just STEM just a little bit of orgo in there. So yes, as we were saying, protein deficiency can manifest in your hair. That's why we do the protein hair masks so that we can strengthen the hair, but doing a hair mask cannot take away the fact that if you're protein deficient, your hair needs internal protein, right? Which is one thing I am going to mention after listing all the things we list, that diet plays a huge role. But before I go into that, another way that our hair can be indicators of overall health is if you're having like flakes or like white or yellow flakes, it means that you might have some dandruff, and it means that you might be suffering some inflammation on your scalp. And inflammation on your scalp can be because there are toxins in your body that are presenting themselves in your scalp. So when you're having a lot of dandruff and a lot of white flakes, you should definitely look into them, because we might think, oh, it's just product buildup, but it can be more than that. It may be because of like a fungus or something going on in your body that needs to be treated, that is manifesting itself on your scalp. And so dandruff, in winter or whenever is a good time for you to really look into your scalp health and any underlying things you might have. And then, in fact, there are so many things that we can think of. There's like depression can manifest itself, like severe depression and severe mental health issues can manifest themselves in terms of weakening hair shafts and like limping hair shaft. And so we just really want to encourage you that if you see your hair breaking, if your hair is weak, if your hair is changing color, these can be major indicators of your overall health. And we really want you to go to a doctor and really see a dermatologist and just know what's happening with your hair. But again, I was mentioning that doing all this masks and doing all this treatment don't take away the fact that diet is really important. And so I want to ask you guys, how do you think diet plays a role in your overall health? You know what you said, Tomi, is really funny, because I think I tried that once. I tried to put a little bit of like egg, and I didn't put mayo because I also don't like the smell of mayo. But banana, oh my god, I have this experience where I tried to do a banana hair mask, but I didn't know you were supposed to sieve it. So I actually just mashed it and used it on my hair. It took me hours to get it out because I thought it was just going to slide out, but no, it got stuck in my curls, and it was like,
it'd probably be better to eat the banana or the egg.
Right, exactly. So, I mean, all these hair masks, a lot of people I follow online and YouTubers and all of that use them. But I think it's also really important to just eat the food, like hair. Your diet is so important. So how do you guys think that plays a role in hair health?
It's so important. I think your hair, like you said, is like a manifestation of your overall health. So when it's like you're not eating well for your hair, I mean you can, but you're eating well also for your skin, your nails,
right,
and also everything inside you. You just take care of your body, balanced protein. Also, I think vitamins is important.
Very important.
You can even like supplement those. It's important to like have vitamins. I know my mom takes biotin for her hair and some other stuff. So I think that can be good. She has really nice nails too, so I think it works. But yeah.
Yeah, diet's definitely really important. I think I was in this phase in high school where I would like buy biotin, like hair, skin, and nails gummies, and I would eat them. I saw no difference personally, but for sure, like supplements for your hair, your nails, your skin, because they all have, I think, they need protein.
Yes.
Is it keratin that's a thing?
Keratin.
Too,
it's keratin.
Yeah. That's for your hair, right?
Keratin is also in your nails.
Right?
Yes.
It's just like, it's what grows it all out. You definitely need that. So I think having like a balanced diet, eating your greens, your veggies. Like when I was younger, I'd be like, they wanted me to eat greens and like have a plate of like starch and protein. I'm like, this is so annoying. But honestly, when you're older, it's like, no, you should have to just balance your diet.
Yes.
Like have all of the things you need in your diet. Don't be eating junk food.
That's really important. And on our last episode, Julie spoke about diet, and she spoke about how overwhelming it can be because there's so much information, you know. It's like, what do I eat and how do I eat? But she said something I really liked. She said, keep it simple, you know. Eat the basic things you need to eat. And she said, you know, the closer they are to their natural states, the better, because highly processed food are lacking in a lot of the nutrients you need. And so she said, you know, when it's closer to its natural state, of course, we can't eat everything just natural, but the closer it is its natural state, the better. And I think that plays a role even in hair care, because you need the protein. And if I remember seeing this meme a few years ago of like, so the upper part of the meme says what we put in our hair: bananas, avocados, eggs. What we eat, it had like burger, fries, and it's like, you can't be trying to feed your hair this way outwardly and not be eating well. So diet is really important. And so water, we didn't mention water.
Ooh,
Drink your water, guys.
Drink water. Honestly, drink water for everything.
Yes.
For your,
Like literally everything. Literally everything.
Like, you will
Just
die
have
without
water. If you don't carry a water bottle, emotional support water bottle, guys, I have mine behind me.
We're literally all with our
We
water
all have
bottle.
it. Mine has my little frog sticker on it. I think that's so important. Always have a water with you and just sip out of it, you know, and it'll just help your mood, take away headaches, jitters. For me, it helps me when I'm anxious too. That's like, it doesn't have to do with hair, but helps me when I'm anxious. And I feel like just having it there, but then also drinking the water helps. And it helps your skin.
It does help your skin
So much.
for sure.
So much.
Water's good for everything.
Water is just...
I think all the issues that you might think of, like my skin's dry, my nails aren't growing, my hair's dry, like I'm breaking out, I have acne. Literally just drink water.
Just drink water.
Diet, drink 8 cups or whatever it is, 8 fluid ounces a day.
I better be seeing you all
Like,
at every meal, refilling that water bottle. Refill that water bottle. Get some ice in it.
But
Or drink hot water.
But
I don't
also
know.
internally water, but also outwardly water for your hair, like hydrating it with water. Stuff that has
So
water,
important.
very, very important to keep your hair moisturized and hydrated.
Yeah. I would say when I style my hair, one thing that changed for me when I started like doing my hair curly, like again, is making sure that when I styled my hair, and this will be different with everybody, because some people, a lot of water can weigh their hair down.
Yes.
So like thinner hair types or like straight and wavy hair types would probably, it depends. But my hair is soaking wet when I style it, so that when I put the products on, they like lock in the moisture that the water gives, and it makes my hair like so shiny and just fall like perfectly. So that's really important. Like water is one of your products, and it's free. So
yes, that's the thing. Water is, I think, the most basic product. That's why people say, if you're looking at a hair product and it's just
read the ingredients.
Yes.
Water should be first.
Yes.
Yeah.
People always say that water should be first, because how can there be a hair product without water? So what exactly are you putting in your hair, you know? So when I think that's a good tip. We can't really give so many tips for hair products, because so many of us have different kind of hairs with different kind of porosity. So different thing works for different people. But the basic thing is water has to be there. It really has to be there. Water inwardly, water outwardly, like you said, Tomi. So the final part of this podcast is going to be about developing a routine. You know, I think that's so important, because depending on what stage you are in your life, this can be very stressful. in fact, at the beginning of the semester, I think I told Tomi this when I was making. Oh my gosh! Shout out to Tomi. She made the twists I have on right now for me. Like, oh my gosh, she has no idea how much how happy I felt because it was like I took down the soft locks I had, but I just did not have time to do anything. Plus, I didn't know who could help me do my hair, and that just made me so sad. It just made me so sad. And I told Tomi, and I think I told someone, I think I told my brother, one of my brothers, that I was considering locking my hair because it was like so much is going on, and having to think about my hair and think about washing and moisturizing because it takes a lot of time. It's literally called wash day because it's the whole day of washing your hair and styling. So when I just was able to do my hair with Tomi, it made me so happy. And so I really want us to talk about like small things we can add to our current routines, or ways we can make routines that don't feel overwhelming. Because imagine having to take out hours of your day every like week to do your hair. As a busy person at work, in college, in high school, as a parent, that can be like a lot, you know. So
Yeah.
I'll start by asking, what are your like routines like right now, and how different are they from when you're on holidays or during breaks?
I think for me right now, my current hair routine is like I have like a wash day. So shout out to Nazra because she put me onto like doing conditioner first.
You do conditioner
Yeah, I
first?
actually tried it this year, and actually like it's good. Like my hair feels a lot more moisturized when I'm done than it used to before.
Wait, how does that work? Conditioner before you shampoo?
Yeah. Because I think I condition it first, and then I detangle it while it's conditioned. It's still dirty, but like it's like a lot easier to detangle. And then I shampoo, then I condition again, or I deep condition, and I leave it in for a couple of minutes, and then I wash it all out. And my hair is a lot softer when I'm like done, and it's like wet, and it's like all like cleared out. Which when I did shampoo first, and then conditioner, and then deep conditioner, all that. But it can also be the products that I'm using now that are just different. That it just like makes it more soft when I'm done. But I do all that, and then I do like the LCO method on my hair. Where I do either liquid,
cream, oil.
Yeah, leave-in conditioner, cream, and then oil to like seal all the moisture in my hair, and then I put it into twists for like a week, and then I let my hair rock. Take it out, and my twist happened an afro. When I was younger, I used to buy a lot of like random products that I did not need at all. Because I was just starting my hair process, my hair journey, and I didn't know what I needed, what my hair type was, like what my porosity was. So I'd buy whatever, like buy like Cantu was so bad for you guys.
Cantu's not that great. Yeah,
It was like trending. So let me buy Cantu, let me buy all this, let me buy that, and it was like not good for my hair specifically. So I think it's just, as I've like gotten older and like learned more about my hair, I've been cutting out a lot of things I don't need. I keep it very simple now. Like I'm not buying, because hair care products are not cheap.
They're not.
and you have to buy them like all the time
at all. So I cut it all out. And I think like the whole thing with like taking care of your hair now, that's like I think is key to making it less of a hassle, is I think really falling in love with the process of it. I think when you like see it as a chore where it's like my hair's out, I'm busy and I have to do all this and that, and like I have to do this on top of that, it becomes something you don't take care of it enough and you don't like focus on it. I think when you fall in love with like your natural hair and like you washing it is you taking care of yourself at the same time. It makes it a lot easier to just like take time out of your day, couple hours to just do your hair. You can watch a movie while you're doing your hair.
Yes,
like it makes it a lot chiller and a more self-loving, self-care process, which is important. But
yeah. For me, I guess so. I probably will wash my hair 2 or 3 times a week. So I think
during the school year.
Yeah, and also when I'm home, probably. Actually, when I'm home, probably less if I'm not going anywhere.
Right.
But yeah, I'll do it like because my hair doesn't get like it's like it's like loose and like thin, but it doesn't get like oily or greasy. So it's not like noticeable. Like, oh, she hasn't washed her hair, you know. So yeah, I just do it as little as possible to make it the curls defined again.
Yes.
Yeah. So every time I wash my hair, if I have time in the shower, I'll do a hair mask. So I usually do one that's like 10 or 15 minutes. I have like 3 that I rotate between. One of them is the Olaplex Bond Builder, and then there's like a Shea Moisture Protein Moisture Mask, which is really good, and it smells so good. And then there's another one. It's like by It's a 10. The brand is called It's a 10, and it's like a keratin one. So I do those 3. I rotate them, and then I will do my styling. I like to air dry my hair. I don't like to diffuse my hair, mostly because I think it makes my hair really frizzy. So I don't know. My curls are tighter when I diffuse it, but they're also more frizzy, and it doesn't last as long. So I don't really love to do that unless I'm in a rush. So I'll just put a leave-in, and I put a lot of that just because my hair, like I said, it can be very dry, and it dries so fast. So I put in the leave-in as soon as possible. I'll usually do like a thicker cream to style, so it makes my hair like more it's hard to explain without like on like just listening, but yeah, I'll put like a styling cream, and then I'll usually do my gel. And my gel that I use, guys, it is $5 to $10 usually, which is good because I use so much. Like I use so much of it. So gel is important. And then I use a mousse that I really love, and that's what I use to scrunch my hair. So I'll scrunch it so the curls will come out, and then I air dry it. And I don't like going out with wet hair, especially in the summer. If you go out with wet hair and it's styled, like forget it. Like it's not, it's not going to work. Winter, it's better because it just won't take, it will take longer to dry. But I did my hair this morning. Right now it's 2, and my hair dried like an hour or 2 ago. So it doesn't take that long to dry, which is good. But yeah, that's my basic routine.
That's very nice. I think the pattern I noticed in both routines was like, moisturizing the hair, and then, styling the hair, moisturizing the hair, and making sure that it's like in a protective style afterward. And I think those are two of the very important things you need to do when you're creating a routine. And I have just a basic layout here for everyone listening, but of course this can be modified because this is not a one thing fit all. Just like Tomi said, some people like condition their hair before washing. I heard about this before, but then I was thinking, when I shampoo my hair, wouldn't all of that leave? But I think, it's what works for you. And the basic things that just should be there is cleaning. You just have to make sure that your hair and your scalp is clean. And the next thing is treatment, whether it's a moisture treatment or a protein treatment, because there are so many hazardous things our hair is exposed to in the environment, from the toxins in the air to rays of the sun, and so many things are touching our hair every time, and so many things are making our hair age. And so doing a treatment for your hair is really important, whether it's moisture or if it's protein, whatever it is. That's really important. And then styling. And the thing about styling is you can style your hair in an unhealthy way, when like your ends are like not well covered, or you have tension on your scalp. Oh my gosh, this is like a really big one. If you push your hair back too much and then there's tension in your scalp, yes, your hair is styled, but it's not styled well, because then you're putting tension on your hair follicles and then on your scalp, and then it can cause inflammation and all of that. So rightfully styling your hair in a way that your ends are protected, even if they're out, they can still be protected. And so that's really important.
Yeah. I would say also for people with looser curls, if you want to, because I would say that when you straighten your hair, it can be like very easy to just like use a blow dryer and then straighten it and like nothing, because it's difficult to straighten, but it's not like that. I don't know. It can be easy to just do it and like straighten it, but you have to make sure that you did like a mask or something like that, so that your hair is as healthy as possible before you apply heat to it.
Yes.
And then you need to have products in your hair. Oh my goodness. Never, ever, ever put heat on your hair without having a product, even if your hair is like straight or like not curly, to be honest. Like, it's not good for your hair. Like it's really not good. So you're basically burning your hair when you do that. So you need to have some kind of heat protectant.
That's very important.
Heat protectant and some kind of like smoothing styler, I think, is helpful. So that you don't have to like pass your hair too many times with a flat iron or something, so that it's already like as hydrated as it can be. So that's something that's important, because I didn't do that as much before, and my hair has been damaged multiple times. So, not good.
That's really important. I have this like mousse that is for it acts as a heat protectant, but then I barely ever use heat on my hair. I got a blow dryer, I think, earlier this year, but just because it's really loud and I had roommates, so I used it once, I think, during a break. But then I was like, oh, my roommates were back. It was really hard to have to use that because it was really loud. And I wasn't used to using the blow dryer. And so just the sound was just making me so uncomfortable, because I was like,
it's so loud.
This is so loud. It's
so loud.
And I like to play music when I do my hair because it takes a long time, or I like to watch a video. But when you're using the blow dryer, you cannot do that. And I was like, okay, I will just air dry.
Yeah. I have to I have two blow dryers. So I have the one that I use to diffuse, which is when I wear my hair curly. And again, I rarely use that one. And then I have the Revlon brush, which not sponsored. None of this is sponsored. But I use the Revlon brush too much, but I use it all the time. And it's so...
sometimes.
She literally was... yeah, she was walking by my door and she was like... She texted me. She's like, little girl, are you straightening your hair again? I was like, maybe. No, I actually wasn't that time. But anyway, yeah, that is so loud. It's so loud. It's like, honestly,
like a machine.
It's literally like a vacuum cleaner. It's so loud, but it does its job. It does its job.
Oh my gosh. Yes, that's so funny. So yes, heat on your hair can be very damaging, and we definitely want you to be taking care of your hair well. So yes, cleansing your hair and your scalp, moisturizing, doing a treatment, and then putting your hair in an appropriate style. It's like those are the basic things you should be doing in your routine, and so you can modify this however you see fit and in whatever stage of your life you're in. I know that we've been speaking about hair that has some length, but even for people with shorter hair, anyone who is listening who has short hair, who has a teeny weeny afro, who is on a low cut, hair care is still really important, and like giving your hair the right products and making sure that your hair looks good. And beards for the men listening.
Oh yeah.
Yes, that's
your beards are also hair. Like
yes.
Moisturize it.
Yeah. So taking care of your beards are just as important, because your beard health also indicates your overall hair health. And so I think my final question would be, when things get really stressful, like during exams or during times in your life where you're really stressed, how does that impact how you take care of your hair?
It's slick back buns all the time. It's just bun. Like my hair will just be in a bun. But I mean, I don't know. I guess that is probably one of the first things that gets neglected. Like, I'm not going to have time to do a whole routine when I have, like, that it takes, like, 2 hours when I can use that to study or something like that. So, but that's good to have, like, some kind of style that you can just do, and you know it will always, like, look good and be easy to do. Like, I've mastered like, if you have my type of hair, like, mastering a slick back ponytail or bun will be a lifesaver, because it always works. It will take, like, 5 minutes. And it looks cute. So, you know, yeah, that's that for me. That's my stressful hair care.
Yeah, that's good. It doesn't sound like you're neglecting your hair, which is good, because there's a tendency for that to happen.
I think for me, if my hair's done, nothing really changes in my process. Like, my hair's like, I usually wrap it when I'm going to sleep, and or if I wake up.
And by done, you mean in braids?
In braids,
yes.
Like in box braids or twists, whatever. I usually just wake up and just go with my day. Like, if I'm stressed and I have finals, nothing changes with my hair. But I think now that, like, I've had a busy, like, past 3 weeks, my hair's been out, it's been a struggle to kind of, like, wake up earlier than I have to, because I have to, like, moisturize it, style it, and all that. So when that's happening, and the weather is bad, which kind of contributes to the stressful thing. But when it's, like, stressful and it's finals and my hair's out, it definitely does decline in how I take care of it. But I'll improve on that. I'll get better at doing that.
Yeah, no, that's right. I think that this is why styling is so nice.
Yeah. I guess also another thing I just realized is that if I'm anticipating a stressful week, I will probably straighten my hair. Just because I know that it's going to take literally a whole half hour out of my morning routine, if that's a half hour I can sleep, I think it's worth it, you know? And it's not bad to straighten curly hair. I don't think it's a bad thing. I think it's totally fine as long as you're protecting it and as long as you're not doing it because you're hating your curls, because that's not good. Curls are so pretty. So yeah, as long as you feel like that's not the case, it can be super convenient, and that's okay.
It's really important to really identify the things we need to do at certain points so that we're making sure that we're taking care of our health and we're not neglecting our hair, but also making sure that we're not stressing ourselves out because we're trying to do our hair. Because what's the point, you know? Yeah, you're like, oh my God, getting really stressed out. And that was really happening to me at some point in the semester. I took out my soft locks and then I was like, oh my gosh, now I have to like every morning my hair, because just so much was happening in the semester. And that's the thing, I have always like taking care of my hair really well, and so being at a point where I couldn't take care of my hair the way I wanted to was just very stressful in and of itself. Like I was feeling bad for my hair because I was like, this is not who I am. I was telling my hair, this is not me. I take care of you better, but it was like so much was going on. So yes, I hope that even in your very stressful period, you can look for sustainable ways to take care of your hair. And again, cleansing your scalp, making sure that your hair, first of all, is clean, and then moisturizing, treating your hair with whatever it needs, whether it's protein or a moisture treatment, and then styling. Those are just some of the basic things that should be in your hair routine, and then moisturizing frequently. So, yeah. I think with that, we have come to the end of today's episode. Oh my gosh, there are so many things we couldn't even touch on as much because this is just an inexhaustible topic like hair care. We could have gone deeper into just something like anemia, and like hair loss or like dandruffs, but we wanted to just give an overarching view on like hair care and our overall health and hair routines and how the society impacts how we see our hair and how it in turn impacts our confidence and wellness. So we hope that this episode has made you think a lot more about your hair, and that if you're facing any issues with your hair right now, you see someone. We really don't want you to neglect your hair health, because if you do, you might be neglecting something deeper in your body, and we don't want that to spiral into something big. So please look after your hair and see your doctor if you need to, or just see a hairstylist you think you can trust with your hair. And yes, we hope that you can look into this as the year comes to an end, and as you're thinking of the things you can, improve on next year. So thank you, Kiana and Tomi, for joining me on today's episode.
Yes, thank you so much. This is so fun.
I am so excited to continue to, talk about hair care and other things like this that we really need to be thinking about, and hope that you guys can keep on taking care of your hair and, giving your hair the nice treatment it deserves, and that, you can like flourish inside out with your hair. And good luck with the rest of the school year. I know that.
Thanks. You too.
Lots of things.
Guys, we're going to get through.
Yes.
We're going to get through Oreo. You got this.
Lots of things are coming up as the year is coming to an end. So good luck with all of that. And yes, guys, if you have any questions for Kiana and Tomi, please send in your questions, your comments. You can send them on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen to your podcasts, or on our social media pages at Blooming Daily. Please don't hesitate to reach out to us, because we will be excited to hear back from you. And don't forget to share with people you think might find this useful too, because sending this to them shows that you care about their hair health, and in extension you care about their overall health and wellness. So yes, thank you again for joining us on another episode of season 3. We will see you guys again soon. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.